when you're walking out to a fight, your adrenaline and all these things going on with your body are at the highest state it can possibly be. And all of a sudden, your song starts playing. The song that I've been listening to before every single practice for months now starts playing, and the crowd is screaming, and it's just you, and there's a spotlight on you. That's the closest I can get to being a rock star, which I thought would be the coolest thing in the world, would be a rock star. But obviously I never learned how to play an instrument or anything, so this is as close to it as I can get. But when you start walking out there and it starts playing, it's just like, hell yeah. These people are cheering for me. They're gonna watch me fist fight this other dude. I'm like, it doesn't get any more hype than that. Like, that is just the truest form of me, because like I can't even control myself because of the energy that is brewing inside of my soul, you know. Opportunities start to present themselves. You don't know when, you don't know how or anything. And I'm like, man, this is the opportunity for me. Like, this is like, even I started doing some wrestling matches for my cousin's wrestling podcast, and I was just having fun with those, because it's like I wrestled my whole life. I'm like, you know, I love the crowd and stuff, and I understand like the brand they're putting out, so I'm like, I'll do that, you know, and just because I thought it was fun. And so it's like just these things that I think are fun and that I like to do, they start accumulating and adding up. Then all of a sudden, boom, here's this opportunity that it almost seems like was made for me. You know, in school, you have all these segmented times where it's like, all right, 4 years to do what you want and graduate. Then with college, it was like another 4 years, 5 for me, but you know, to do what you want, achieve your goals, and then you're off to the real world. Now the real world is just completely wide open, and it's like you know, I was like burning through these jobs like I was only supposed to be there for 4 years or 3 years or whatever. And then I realized, I'm like, all right, I need to recalibrate my mind and how this works. And so with this, I'm just like, I'm gonna work my ass off every single day, and I'm gonna give myself 10 years to do it, because it's like I read a lot of books, and it seems like almost every book, you know, a person became an expert in their field after about 10 years of grinding. And so I'm like, you know, at the time I was 27, so I'm like, well, let's shoot for 35. I'm like, at 35 years old, let's see where we're at. And so I've made a commitment to myself that I'm gonna do everything I can, every single day I can, until I'm 35, and see what happens, you know, see how far we can take it. Eventually, I make my way to becoming a firefighter. And the reason I wanted to become a firefighter is because I started training jiu-jitsu. I'm like, man, this stuff is awesome. Like, it was close enough to wrestling to where I was successful at it right away, but also just different enough to where I was learning a ton. So it just like lit a fire in my soul to where I'm like, I want to do this more. How can I do it more? And firefighting had that schedule that allowed me to do that. And so I was able to, by the grace of God, somehow get on the fire department in Kansas City with almost no qualifications, and they put me through an academy. I got all my qualifications while getting paid. Like, it was the greatest thing ever. Then, you know, I had the schedule. I had the schedule that I wanted, and so I've been telling everybody, I'm like, I'm gonna be in the UFC, I'm gonna be in the UFC. I'm gonna train full time and all this stuff, and now I had the schedule to do it, so I'm like, all right, here I go. So every single hour I had off of work, I was planning my training for MMA. Even a couple fights ago, me and this dude beat the hell out of each other. When we were done, like, it was almost like I'm like drunk or on drugs. Like, I couldn't stop smiling. I was looking at the crowd. Like, it was just like, even when I watch it, like, I get goosebumps, because I'm like, that feeling is just so crazy. And there is nothing crazier than a fist fight. And it's like, I don't party anymore. I don't do any of that stuff. I just train and work. And this is kind of like my party. This is where I get to go have a good time, show what I can do, and then, you know, if I win, it's like I'm gonna party with my people.